Hey guys, what is happening? What is going on? Welcome to another Redstone tutorial with me, your host, BJW, and today we are taking a look at the translocation elevator. I'm using the new observation block. And I just want to acknowledge first that this is based on a previous design by Doc M, who put this out a couple of days ago. But I've expanded it a little bit and added some other functionality to it that I think might be useful to some people, so I thought I'd do a quick tutorial. Check out the link below for Doc's design, and then let's just get into it. Alright, let's start with the up elevator. First, my lower area here is a little bit different than Doc's in that I wanted a little bit more control. Rather than using string to activate it, I have a button that powers a piston that raises a block that activates this first observer block. And then that piston pulls you up into it. And so this is the module that really is continuing all the way up as high as you want to go. So when you're pulled up, you hit the string and that changes this block in front of it. And that observer block reads that change in that block, of course. Powers the block behind it, which activates this redstone. And then this observer block, because this redstone essentially takes up this block and it powers the block above it, both of these blocks are being updated by that redstone being powered. This observer block reads this block being powered as changed, sends a pulse into this lower piston, which then grabs you and pulls you up onto the string, and then that whole thing repeats all the way up. Pretty easy, I think. Here, we'll go ahead and just do it really quick. Click that button, pulls you all the way up on top there. It's pretty cool and amazing how fast it is too. I don't think you can fly that fast straight up. I think that might even be faster. And then the down elevator, I think, is as fast as falling, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's go ahead and do this module really quick to show you the same thing. So in this case, you're up here on the upper platform. You hit the button, it activates this piston, pulls you down here. And in this case, we have the observer block is up at eye level, and that's where the string is, of course, so the piston can extend up one block and grab you and pull you down. If it was down here on one block, it would break that string. So this observer block reads that string being activated, powers this block, which powers the redstone below it, which powers this block, which this observer block reads, and then powers this piston, which then activates it and pulls you down to the next level and repeats the whole thing over again. So that is the technical reason for how these guys work. Let's get into how you build it. Alright, I went ahead and built these side by side in this particular instance, just because I think it makes it a lot more compact. It's only 2 wide by 3 deep. Of course, you could build these apart if you wanted to have a block in between for visual reasons. And the other thing to know about it too is that because they're side by side and you have that redstone activating both sides, when this is functioning, both sides are functioning essentially. So it might get a little bit laggy because you have all these pistons firing. For instance, when you're on this side, it actually activates this piston to extend as well. So it's a little bit annoying, but the easiest way to avoid that is to just separate it by one block if you feel like that's necessary. Otherwise, don't think it's a big deal at all. So let's go ahead and get into the first part here, which is the base. And of course, it's relatively simple. You just need one piston, one button, and some building blocks. And I'll show you, you see this hay bale in here. I'll show you why you might need that depending on how you're utilizing the elevator here in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and build it over here. Make sure I'm in the right spot there. We got am I too close? Oh, I got extra strings here. That's from an earlier attempt. Let's move this over one. Boom, boom. All right, so you got 4 blocks on the base. You got a sticky piston firing up and a block on top of that. And then a button on this elevator. And this is our upside, and this is our downside. Our upside. Anyway, so just double check, make sure that works. It's that easy, believe it or not. Let me put these away really quick and get our building blocks for each level. So just really quick, a observer block, of course, takes 6 cobblestone, 1 nether quartz, 2 redstone to make each one of those, and you'll need 4 of those per level, which is pretty straightforward. So it could be a little bit expensive depending on the nether quartz, because you'll need 4 nether quartz per level. So I don't think that's that bad. But then you also have pistons, which can be kind of expensive. And just to remind, it's 3 oak wood planks, 4 cobblestone, 1 redstone, and 1 iron ingot makes a piston. You need 5 building blocks, 2 string. Oh, that puts it over here. Let's do that. 4 observer blocks, 2 redstone, and 2 pistons per level. If you want to go up, and that's of course every 3 blocks, I think, is that how that works out? So if you need to go up 100 blocks, you can calculate that because you're smarter than I am. All right, to build this first part, let's go ahead and do our observer blocks first. And each level is going to be the same way. So you start with 2 observer blocks facing that direction. So it's kind of backwards, but essentially they are powering this side and reading the other side. Above that, you've got 1 observer block facing that way, one building block, and you have an observer block on top of that, and a building block on top of that. Pretty straightforward. And you could actually, if you wanted to, the easiest thing might be to just build that module up as high as you want to go. Start there. That's pretty easy. And then on the front side, you're going to have a piston facing down on the right, a piston facing up on the left, so that's going to be the upside, or downside, I should say. You're going to put one string in front of this observer block and one string in front of that observer block. And luckily, you don't have to shift or anything, it just places it. And the back side is done, or the front side's done. Now on the back side, you'll have to put a, let me make sure double check and make sure I got this in the right location. I'm pretty sure I do, yeah. You're going to have a block here, a block there, and a block there. And then you're going to put redstone on those two blocks. And that's it, basically, all the way up and down. We'll go ahead and build another one real quick just so we have two of them. We're going to have two observer blocks facing backwards this way. One facing forwards, a building block, observer block that direction, piston facing down, piston facing up, and then string there on that side, and on the back side you can just do that kind of C shape again, redstone, and that's it, seriously. And we're going to test this one. We can test the upside because there's a block above us, but I can't test this one until I have a block above that. So we'll do that after we do our finishing platform here. And so that's the last thing you do. Once you have this up as high as you want to go, you just need to do this last part, which is the finishing platform. And then, so you'll need your two observer blocks again, like we had previously, facing in like that. Your piston facing down that direction, piston facing up this direction over here. Then you'll have building blocks on top of that. And then you can go ahead and surround this with your platform however you want to design it. And then on the back side, I gotta remember this a little bit. I think we have a block there. No, it's not there, it's there. Then there. Put that there like that. And then I have redstone on this one. Is that right? I'm gonna double check real quick. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. That makes sense. Yep. Perfect. I don't need redstone there. I do right there. Sorry, I got to copy this one. I haven't built this a lot. I've built a lot of these, but I haven't built this upper portion but a couple of times just to make sure that it works. And then we need to surround this side with something. We don't need to, and this is kind of the aesthetic part of it. The only thing that you do need for sure is you need to have a block above this down elevator, because that's kind of how the functionality of this works. It's going to want to push you up into this, and this is going to prevent that from pushing you up, and then it's going to grab you and pull you down. So the one thing I forgot to add in here, so let's grab it really quick, is a button. Because we do need one button on this bad boy right there. And then you can finish this off or not. It's nice maybe to have a roof above it. So this should, let's test it, work. We're up, and then make sure we can go down. Oh, I may not be standing in the right spot here. Let's make sure we're standing in the right spot. Down. There we go, and it took me down. And so that's the kind of one finicky things about this. So you got to make sure you're standing in the right spot, because what's going to happen is it's going to activate the piston, and it's going to pop up, and then you got to wait for the press of the button press, and then it'll pull you down. So that's kind of the only one little slow part about that. But then once it gets started, it's really fast. It's as fast as going up, for that matter. Yeah, that's it, essentially. There you go. Up and down built. And the last thing I wanted to show you really quick is that this does actually work as a villager elevator. Let's go and just put this stuff in here. We don't need it right now. Grab a villager and then the hay bale, and I'll show you why in a second. So villager going up, no problem. Hello, I haven't seen a green villager yet. Boom, boom, boom. There he goes, all the way up. And you can see how that was activating both sides of the piston. I think that's a little bit annoying, but then I'm going to show you why you need a hay bale. I'm not sure why it does this. I think it might be because the fall is essentially or the down is essentially as fast as falling. I think the villager might read that as falling. So as they go down, they die for some reason. So what I found is if you put a hay bale right here, boop, take advantage of those hay bale mechanics, the new ones, that it actually breaks your fall a little bit, it will solve that problem. So you can then go ahead and take your villagers and or whatever mob you want, and that should solve that problem. And I did notice too, did I grab my sword? Just to show you, I thought they may take damage when they do that, but they don't. It's like either they die or they're fine, because it still takes 3 hits to kill him. So he's still at full hearts. So there you go. I think that is about it for our up and down Observer Translocator Elevator. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope this was useful to you. And if it is, maybe leave a like, and possibly, if you haven't yet, a subscribe would be very appreciated. But definitely go check out Doc's video for the upside, and give him a like as well, because this is really based on his work. So thank you all very much. Have a great day, and we will see you next time. Bye.